Hi everyone, Mike Stuchiner, Master Herbalist here. And recently I got a few emails asking me to talk a little bit about what I use on a daily basis, what herbs I use, and so on and so forth. And I decided, well, I'll make a small video or a quick video about it. So I should begin the video by saying that my herb program for myself does change throughout the year. I would even say by the season, depending on my wants, depending on my needs, depending on what I'm trying to achieve health-wise, or maybe I'm trying to accomplish something that I'm using herbs to help me accomplish that has nothing to do with health. Okay, so I thought that maybe it would be fun to tell you a little bit about what I'm currently taking at this time. Right now we are approaching January 20 of 22, and it is winter time, and where I am it is butt-ass cold. It's about 10 to 20 degrees outside right now. So here are the things that I am currently taking. Okay, so if you watched my last video, I talked a lot about taking ginseng and about the benefits of ginseng and broke down the different kinds of ginsengs and so on and so forth. So currently, right now, I am taking Dragon Herbs red ginseng, okay, in tincture form. And red ginseng, if you remember, can be warming and can be slightly stimulating. So for me personally, when I take red ginseng, and this is only when I take red ginseng, not during the summertime when I'm necessarily taking, let's say, American ginseng, which is much more of a cooling nature and cooling energetic temperature to it, okay? When I take red ginseng, because I am someone who kind of tends to run on the my personality is a little more aggressive, I'm a little bit more bombastic in my ways, and because I tend to run on the warmer side, energetically at least, maybe not necessarily body temperature wise, but energetically, I tend to run a little bit on the warmer side. What I will also use from Dragon Herbs is a product called Primal Yin replenisher. And what this is made up of mostly cooling herbs that help to cool off and to sort of neutralize the overwarming effects for me of ginseng, so I can still get the benefits I like from red ginseng, but it doesn't overstimulate me and make me feel too hot or too warm. Okay, so Primal Yin replenisher is something else that I'm currently using only because I am currently taking the red Pandex ginseng. Okay, now the second item I'm currently using, and again, this is from the company Dragon Herbs, it's called Super Jing. Now, Super Jing, by nature and by energetics, I guess you might call it, while it does have some warming herbs and some cooling herbs, it does tend to be a little bit more on the cooling side, more of a yin type of a formula. But the reason I like taking Super Jing is because, for two reasons. Reason number one is, like I said, I tend to run on the warmer side. I tend to run on the more aggressive by nature side, which is a sign of heat, excessive heat. And the other reason I like to take it is because in Chinese medicine, when people talk about Jing, what they're talking about is your life essence. They're talking about your, the term I use is keeping your constitution strong. And that's not just about your immune system, it's about keeping the core of your ability to function at optimal levels at a very high and strong level. So I like using Super Jing. I will often use this year-round, and if I don't use this specific formula, I will use herbs that are within this formula if I'm not currently using this formula, which would be, again, Jing producing herbs. For example, there are a few of them, like, for example, cordyceps is a big one, and astragalus is another big one. Those are both really good Jing herbs, and because they're Jing herbs, I will sometimes use them as individual entities as well. Okay? And the third and final thing that I'm currently taking is super adaptogen. Now this is a combination of, this is a neutral temperature formula, and this is a combination of both cooling and warming adaptogens, stimulating and calming adaptogens, and it is a great formula for me. I really like it because, again, I'm a big fan of using adaptogenic herbs. The idea of supporting a healthy stress response, the idea of continuing to keep your core constitution strong and healthy so your body can deal with the everyday stressors in life. What I have personally found is when I use an adaptogen formula, and it may not necessarily be this one, I switch off to other adaptogen formulas, but when I'm using an adaptogen formula and Super Jing together, I find that I personally find that I really feel at my best physically, because it really is a great combination for keeping that essence, that life essence, that core strength really at its highest level. And it doesn't take very long to do. Again, I am someone who for many years as a competitive powerlifter lived a very excessive lifestyle, large amounts of food, heavy training, and I put my body through a lot. So because of it, I've always been a believer in using what you would call restorative-based formulas, like Jing, like Super Jing or Super Adaptogen, or for that matter, maybe other types of adaptogens. Now, again, I'm also using, as I've mentioned at the beginning of this video, I'm using red Pandex Ginseng, which is also an adaptogen, okay? So, like I said, I'm a fan of adaptogens. I love my adaptogens, and that's part of the reason why I use adaptogens all year round. I switch my adaptogens off depending on my needs and my wants and what I'm trying to achieve. But as of right now, these 4 items are the core of my program, and that's what I'm currently using. So I hope that answers some questions that you may have about these, about what I'm currently doing and why I'm currently doing it. And I guess we'll see you next time.